So it's been a little over a month since we got back from Firefly Festival, which took place in Dover, Delaware at the end of September. And I wanted to make a little video to document some of our time there. I wasn't filming the whole time, but I was trying out a new camera, the Sony RX100. It's notoriously hard to get cameras into music venues and some music festivals. It turns out Firefly, I could have brought whatever I wanted to, but even then, it kind of sucks to carry around a lot of equipment. I've been searching for kind of the perfect running gun setup, and I think maybe this is the best camera to bring everywhere. I've been able to get it into every venue in the past 2 or 3 months as I've been back seeing shows. As you know, we've all been suffering through COVID for the past 2 years, and there haven't been concerts to attend. Because of that, the anticipation was high for when concerts did come back. When Firefly got announced, it was one of the first festivals maybe I saw that was announced, and I saw the headliners, and I thought, wait a second, this may be the perfect opportunity to roar back into normalcy. I had this thought during the pandemic, which is still going on, by the way. I'll feel normal again when I'm at some crazy festival in the United States or Europe and I'm watching Tame Impala perform. Pair that with the fact that last year, one of my absolute favorite records last year was Imploding the Mirage by The Killers. So when I saw that The Killers and Tame Impala were headlining Firefly Fest, and the fact that Lizzo is one of Allie's favorite artists and she was closing the festival out, I kind of thought this was the perfect opportunity to roar back into the concert scene. On a whim, I think back in April, we made plans to buy tickets and to do VIP. It's one of those things where we haven't been on vacation in the past 2 years. The amount of money you spend on these tickets, you know, the TLDR is they're worth every penny. And especially if you're seeing a bunch of bands that you love, you really can't replicate this experience anywhere else other than a festival. Also, the amenities are beyond insane and are definitely worth the price of admission. The first thing to know about Super VIP, which is what we bought, the viewing area in front of the festival stages is mostly GA, which means you're smashed up against everybody else like this. The VIP section is kind of to the left of the crowd. It's an area you get in with your wristband and you can kind of walk about, and there's more refreshments, there's food and drink. Super VIP gets you into the first 10 rows in front of the stage on one of the sides. You can waltz right into this little pen at the very front and be within the first 20 feet of the artist and come and go as you please. That experience is divine. What's even more amazing is that, as you know, at festivals, the price gouging is insane. Any random beer somebody might want to buy is like $12. If you want a mixed drink, they're like $17. The lounge next to all the stages is only available to certain all-access staff, artists, and Super VIP. So going into the Super VIP areas, you can literally just say, give me, a mixed drink, a Gatorade, a water, a White Claw, a Red Bull, and it's all free. So depending on how much you plan on drinking at a festival over the course of 4 days, that alone can add up to half the price of admission. Going between stages to see a lot of bands, everything's decently close, so you can walk the entire festival, in 10, 20 minutes. If you're watching a band and another band's about to start in 5 minutes on the other side of the festival, from those lounges, there are actually golf carts that will drive you from the lounge at that stage to the lounge at another stage. Like I said, a bougie nightmare, but super convenient, especially for old people that don't want to be inconvenienced. It comes at a price, but it's worth the price, like I said. The details of Super VIP are now out of the way, and let's move on to what actually happened at the festival. So I should first say, Firefly is 4 nights, and we missed the first night. Why, you ask? We did have plans to leave midday and drive to Dover, which is, 3 or 4 hours away. Bushwick in Brooklyn and the surrounding areas got pummeled by Hurricane Ida, and we had some water damage in our house that we're still mitigating. That first night of Firefly, there was a flash flood watch. We were afraid we were going to get hit again. It turns out we could have left, there was no problem. They ended up pushing back the set times on night 1 anyways because of the rain, which was all over the eastern seaboard. I think we left at midnight and got there at 3 or 4 in the morning at the Sleep Inn in Dover. If you've never been to Dover, it's not a very impressive place. There's Dover International Speedway and there's Dover Downs, which is a casino. And kind of behind that all is the Woodlands, which is where Firefly takes place. So that first night, we missed Phoebe Bridgers, we missed Billy. I would have liked to see Billy. Phoebe I've seen several times. While I was sad to miss her, it's fine. I heard the Billy show was good, but we could live without it. Day 2, we kind of slept in a little bit, got some food. We arrived in time for Band of Horses. Band of Horses is one of my favorite bands. Cease to Begin, one of my favorite records of all time. And it was our first entree into the festival, getting into the VIP area and being right in front of the stage. I took some video during the funeral, which I'll play for you now. From there, we actually made our way kind of around the grounds, got our bearings. We got a storage locker to put stuff in while we were hanging. Checked out the artist lounge. Of course, ran into our friends Nate and Chanel. Their band's playing everywhere, so depending on who you're a fan of and what bands you know, your day could look completely different from ours. We did not spend much time watching Cage the Elephant, although, they were a band that was playing one of the main stages. I took a short clip of them. After Cage the Elephant, we ended up seeing Sylvan Esso with our friends Nate and Chanel. Sylvan Esso is a husband and wife duo out of North Carolina. I'm pretty sure I've seen them at a random show at Webster Hall or Music Hall of Williamsburg. They were fun on the festival stage. Their show gets much bigger on these stages with the lights and stuff, so it was a lot of fun.
Tourists to make while I'm playing.
course, the main event on day 2 was one of the bands I was dying to see, which was The Killers. And believe it or not, this was my first time seeing The Killers perform, maybe ever. And I was absolutely blown away. I was texting some friends during it, just losing my mind at the set list. They opened up with one of my favorite tracks from Imploding the Mirage, Dying Breed.
Sounds like we're fixing to find out.
And really the energy like never let up the entire time. Brandon Flowers is a rock star. Dave Koenig, who actually sort of left the band, the guitar player, he was playing with them, which was cool. Setlist was just insane. They did not play hardly anything from Pressure Machine, which came out this year, just one tune. And they played a couple songs from Imploding the Mirage, Caution and Dying Breed. That may have been it. And then they were just pumping out the hits like crazy. Read My Mind, All These Things I've Done, Mr. Brightside. And then the encore, they opened up with The Man, which I got video of, which I think is a killer performance, which I'll show you. The encore was The Man, Jenny Was a Friend of Mine, the first track from their first record, Hot Fuss. And then, of course, When We Were Young, which they often end their shows with. Such a absolute joy and pleasure to see the Killers. Just one of the greatest things. Loved it. Day 3, we got to the festival grounds a lot earlier and kind of poked around and saw some of like the little dance areas they had where they were kind of blasting techno in the middle of the woods. Some of the smaller stages with some smaller artists. There was lots of different food all over the place. And of course there were the lounges. The first show I ended up seeing on day 3 was Caribou, who I've been dying to see since the record last year, Suddenly. They played The Shed. Their show was killer. What was weird though is that some of their gear broke in the middle of the set, and then so there was kind of like dead silence for a while that they were trying to like deal with that. After Caribou, we made our way over to the main stage, and one of the other nice things about Super VIP is if the bands allow it, you can actually get on stage, a limited number of people, and watch the show from the wings, just sort of like these catwalks on either side where they'll let people up. We were up there for Dominic Fike. If you don't know Dominic Fike, he had a big hit single called 3 Nights. He also was the subject of a New York Times documentary called Dominic Fike at First. The documentary basically tracked his $4 million record deal, being signed as an artist off of SoundCloud. The crowd absolutely loved Dominic Fike. It was awesome being up on stage during it, and I actually took video during 3 Nights, which I think is really fun to watch. It gives you a great view into how dense the festival crowd was and how fun it was. While we were up in the rafters, I actually met the drummer for a band called Rit Momney, which is obviously Mitt Romney with the letters moved around. Another fun fact, though, is he was in the jazz program at Florida State many years after me and some of my compatriots were, but we knew the same professors. We had like a nice chat about people like Leon Anderson and Rodney and the people who were teachers there. Rit Momney was playing one of the stages on the next day, but because he was an artist, he had the same access that Super VIP had. We walked around after Dominic Fike. I believe we briefly saw Duke Dumont. We like got some food, and just chilled, and eventually went to Krongbin, which it means airplane in Thai. Krongbin looks like sort of some strange international act, but they're actually from Houston. They wear wigs. Very specific sound, but were really cool to see live. Ali loved them. She loves Laura Lee, and we're actually excited to see them probably at Radio City when they play, I think in March. I took some footage during their show. And then, of course, we made our way back to the main stage for the main event on night 3, which was Tame Impala. I saw Tame Impala a couple years ago at Madison Square Garden. I don't want to say it was life-changing, but it really opened my eyes to what an amazing performer and composer Kevin Parker is. But the entire presentation of what they do is just so amazing. I took video during Elephant, which I think was just the most balls-to-the-wall awesome track they did. also got some during Let It Happen, which is the first track off of Currents, which was their 2015 record that sort of cemented them as one of the great artists of the decade. After Tame Impala, honestly, I could have gone home, but we decided to go over and check out Diplo on the other side of the festival. Luckily, we had those golf carts to take us over there. One of the most unexpectedly awesome shows we saw was this Diplo show. It was so much fun. Something about EDM in the right way can really elevate you and make you feel like you're flying. And it was just like the crowd was so good. Diplo, I think, is actually a great performer. I love this entire set. It was one of the true surprises of the weekend. He played Brooklyn Mirage, which is actually near us in Bushwick this summer. I imagine if you see him at one of the beach parties in Vegas, it's maybe one of the douchier experiences anybody can be a part of, but a lot of fun, the Diplo show. And I got some clips from that.
Left side, right side, I want to see those hands up. Everybody's going to the party, have a real good.
It took us till night 3 to really realize Dover Downs and how that worked with the festival. So it turns out if you stay at Dover Downs, you can actually take a golf cart from Dover Downs directly to the festival and back each night. So on night 3, we took the golf cart from the end of Diplo's show back to Dover Downs and hung out there in the casino for a while and played like slot machines and all that. I was playing the Crazy Rich Asians machine, which I thought was a lot of fun. We eventually had a hard truth was that Dover is not a nightlife scene. And so cabs, it's not as simple as just calling up an Uber or Lyft at the end of the night. You actually kind of need to linger in the right place and wait for like a nighttime city cab to come by. So at the end of day 3, we were about a mile from our hotel and we started walking back to it because we absolutely could not find a cab. And then somebody picked us up on the side of the road, which was one of those like Lucy cabs, and took us back. We know now if we go back to Firefly that stay at Dover Downs. I'm not sure how much it cost. Maybe that's why we didn't do it originally, or maybe it was sold out or appeared sold out. It makes it way easier to get to and from the festival if you're at Dover Downs. On day 4, we got there even earlier, so we ended up seeing even more acts. We saw the group Cannons. Cannons was cool. I didn't get any video footage. I got some snaps. Ali was a big fan of Cannons. After that, we did some poking around. I think I got a haircut before or after this in one of the VIP areas, which was just exquisite. Like I said, they have a lot of random amenities set up. This barber, I talked to the guy who's cutting my hair. He goes from festival to festival. I guess his barber he works for in Boston, they get asked to like, hey, go to this festival, go to this festival, and they get paid to provide free haircuts. I gave him a tip. He gave me some free product. Pretty wild. And that was available to all VIP, not just super VIP. After Mount Joy, we checked out Nelly. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about Nelly, just me. However, one of my favorite performances the whole weekend, I got a bunch of video clips of it. It was him and his brother. His brother was the hype man. You may remember that Nelly used to wear a Band-Aid on his face. That was actually to show solidarity with his brother who was serving time in prison. And it was very touching for him to like bring that up on stage and talk about his brother and how glad he was for him to be up there with him. Really cool show. Bangers, tons of hits, back to back to back to back. Awesome show. That may have been the second biggest surprise after Diplo. I was like, man, that was an awesome set to be at.
Yo, now that I'm a fly guy, hey, and I fly high, people wanna know why I fly by, hey, yo, it's so good, range over all wood, sound to me like you should. We beat them stuck, wishing you was, acting like we drunk, different Chrissy Buck, money in the club, me in the Benz, I see Chris telling me to leave you in the crib. it up one time. Baby, you a song, make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. I feel like busting loose and I feel like touching you and you. Can't nobody stop you. So baby, tell me what's the use. I said it's getting so hard. So take off, ladies. Tell me, y'all, what's it gonna be? She said you don't know what you all I think about is you. Even when my boo. Hey, you know I'm crazy.
The next thing we optimized for after that was Megan Thee Stallion. Badass set. I messed up the settings on my video, and so like the bass overtakes the audio on the video I took from it. But one of the coolest performances. I got a ton of snaps of her as well.
To say that I appreciate the motherfucking hotties. Cause without the motherfucking hotties, it would be no hot girl coach. And I wanna say thank you to the hot girls that's up here on stage. Cause y'all be working y'all motherfucking ass off. And I want them to introduce themselves. You can tell when you hold out, you can get some by yourself. If we took a trip on the first tip, bitch, rule number one, keep that shit. Rule number two, if they all came with you, they gotta know. Hey, everybody say,
So we made our way back to the main stage, pre-Lizzo, and then one of the other big surprises of the weekend, Portugal the Man, ripped. They were awesome. They played a killer set, and I think the second or third song in, they played Creep in a T-Shirt, and I was just going nuts during it. I was just like pointing and singing and, kind of going insane. I did not get much video during their show, which is unfortunate. That's the thing about these shows. Because I have all this footage, it may look like all I was doing was recording. However, I would try to get one song from every set we were at, or none. And then the rest of the time, I would try to get like 10 or 20 photos. If it was somebody and I was getting great shots, I might take a few more. But I wanted to be in the moment for most of it. But Portugal the Man kicked so much ass. They covered In Bloom by Nirvana, which I thought was also fun. But mostly, that was us doing a waiting game. They were at the main stage, then there was a break in between, and then it was Lizzo. Ali, taking advantage of the fact that Super VIP can get on stage, started off Lizzo's show up in the catwalk. I got a few things on video from Lizzo. But the level wasn't totally correct, and so the bass just overtook my camera.
Look up in the mirror.
But Lizzo put on a great performance. Actually wasn't one of my favorite sets of the weekend. I mean, and she's great. If you've never seen her, she's lovely to see in concert. It was good. It was fun. She had a great band of all black women playing instruments, which was super cool. And they played a couple instrumental sections that I thought were so badass. The guitar player was ripping. But after Lizzo, that was really the end of the festival. And so we got in our golf carts again, went to Dover Downs, got lucky, got a cab right away, went back to the hotel, woke up, and went home. Key takeaways: Firefly was so much fun. The tickets were 100% worth it. I highly suggest Firefly Fest. It is contingent on who's playing. I told somebody recently, I'm like, yeah, if they booked like Eminem as the headliner, I'd maybe think twice about whether I really care about going to see that. But as long as the people that are headlining are people you really love and want to see, oh, it's amazing. Anyways, if you made it this far, thank you for watching this content. If you want more content like this in the future, please go to highforthis.com/YouTube, which will take you to my YouTube page where I'll post a lot more stuff. You can follow me on social media at Wonderboy Music, especially on Instagram. I post every time I go to a concert. I usually post one video, and a set of pictures from that gig. I also have a podcast, which will probably be kicking off again soon. It was dormant during the pandemic. Wonder why. However, I've been going to a bunch of shows and I've been listening to a lot of music. We're going to get towards the end of the year soon. We're going to need to announce our best albums of 2021. So keep an eye out for new podcast episodes. Other than that, stay safe, get vaxxed if you're not. At this point, it's insane if you're not. And let me know if you're in Brooklyn and want to go see some music, because I am always down. I'll put you on my text chain. Anyways, talk soon. Peace.